Hey guys, this is Punisher from WalkingDeadArmy.com and Don't Revive Me Bro with the Battlefield 4 weekly update. Hey guys, this is a new series that I'm going to try to do weekly that is going to cover the previous week's news related to Battlefield 4, any updates, any community events, or anything that DICE puts out that you need to know. So first up, yesterday Matt Skinner, the Vice President and GM of graphics for AMD, briefed among other new technologies Mantle to a small audience at CES in Las Vegas. He announced that Mantle would now be used in the development of 3 different graphics engines and 20 different games from 5 developers. He also debuted about a 30-second clip of Battlefield 4 running on Mantle. Okay, what you need to know, this was running on an AMD Kelvari A10 APU and an R90 290X GPU. Okay, so no crazy computer, no crazy crossfire configuration, just a single A10 APU, which is a mediocre processor compared to their FX series chips, and one R9 290X. While the GPU is the most powerful that they make, it is considered to be something that is not necessarily mind-blowing when it comes to gaming rigs. With that being said, it ran over 100 frames per second solid. Okay, so that is good news for us AMD users, who are looking forward to getting better performance out of Mantle. Another thing that they debuted was a new thing called FreeSync. FreeSync, which is similar to NVIDIA's G-Sync, allows GPUs and monitors to sync frame rates. In the case of AMD's FreeSync, there will be nothing that you need to upgrade other than having a monitor that currently supports VESA and also has DisplayPort with version 1.3. So those are the 2 things you need for your desktop to run for FreeSync. Now FreeSync will run on most laptops currently, but to have a desktop to work, those 2 things you're going to need. So with that being said, this is great news again for AMD users, and this is something that kind of caught us by surprise here. Because, NVIDIA has been boasting about G-Sync now for, quite a few months. And, there was no word from AMD whatsoever. And we were kind of wondering if AMD was going to be able to do this. And now we know that they do have something similar that they've been working on. But they have been keeping on the mends until CES. So that is great news again for AMD users alike. And we will be able to use this variable frame syncing technology. So you're talking about no more frame loss, no more stuttering, no more screen tearing on your screen, because it will adjust variably as you lose and gain frame rates with your computer. All right, second up, the guys over at Battlefield Podcast, Chalk 1 and Darkness 429, had a podcast here recently that included some, pretty popular YouTubers that are in the Battlefield 4 community, and those were Scanner Barkley, Culprit, Snoove603, and our own Peekaboo Bang from Don't Revive Me Bro. So Chalk 1 had kind of an open forum to discuss Battlefield 4 in its current state, and there was some really good conversation that came out of that. Particularly, I want to boast on Scanner Barkley a bit, because he really brought up a very good point, and that was that there are some popular YouTubers out there that really sold this game prior to release, putting out a ton of content, and were invited to all these events that EA sent them out there. They got to play the game, they got to get tons of hands-on time with it, they got one-on-one time with the developers, and not once did you ever hear anything negative about the game. All you heard was about how good the game was and how mind-blowing it was going to be, and how it was going to change the FPS genre, and how it was going to be the next big thing, and all this, And now look at how many problems we've had with this game. And now they're coming out and they're saying negative things about the game just like we are. Well, you know what? I call that BS. These guys are out there selling us a bunch of crap. And I'm going to tell you, I'm one of those guys that bought into them. I watched their videos, and I was trusting in their judgment of the game. And unfortunately, I got bit. just like you guys have, because I know many of you have watched those videos and you were looking so forward to the game just to get what we've gotten now. And so I'd like to personally thank Scanner for bringing that up. It was definitely something that I have been thinking about within the last few weeks, especially since one of them has now started push Titanfall footage, okay, and has been basically doing the same thing with Titanfall that he's doing with Battlefield 4. So, lesson learned from that, don't trust anybody. You wait till the game comes out, you play the game, you make your own decisions, and you don't trust anybody's word on that. And I hate to be that way, because I really thought that these guys would be unbiased, but unfortunately, obviously, they must have had some sort of agenda, maybe getting some sort of under-the-table deals with EA, DICE, I don't know. But regardless, you know, now we're all paying for it, basically, I believe. And that's my opinion. If you don't agree with me, well, you can write in the comments below. I'm sure we can debate it, whatever. I'm game. But anyway, once again, thanks to you, those guys. That was probably the best podcast I've ever watched. I really enjoyed it, and it was really good. A lot of great information came out of that, and a lot of good comment, debate. And anyway, so, you know, if you wanted to watch them guys, you can follow them at BF Podcast. I know that they put the podcast out on iTunes. You also can go check their website out and all that stuff. But anyway, once again, kudos to those guys for doing that. All right, the last thing I wanted to talk about was Alan Kurtz, the core game designer for Battlefield 4, came back from vacation this week and put out some feelers on Twitter on balancing different portions of the game. Okay, particularly, he was really looking at vehicles. And some of the highlights that I'd like to talk about is the attack chopper. He realizes how unusable the attack chopper is. I know there's a few of you that follow me on Twitter that disagree with me, but I'm telling you, I speak for most of the community when they know that, especially on certain maps like Lane Cane Dams, that the attack chopper is almost useless when you have somebody in a mobile AA. Now, the attack choppers are terrible, in my opinion, when it comes to defenses. They virtually have no way to defend themselves once they've set their flares off or their ECM off, because they're not fast enough to get out of the range of the mobile AA, and it takes a long time to recharge your countermeasures. So with that being said, Alan realizes that. He's already said that he sees that the community has an overwhelming desire to get defenses better for the chopper. So I'm sure that we will see some changes here coming up with that. He's also said that there was an issue with the active radar missiles hitting the chopper and basically putting the chopper, flipping the chopper upside down and making it uncontrollable. He says that is an unintended feature of Battlefield 4, and that will be fixed. So that is great news, because once again, I'm telling you, if you get hit by the active radar missiles from the mobile AA, you are out of control, and it is almost impossible to recover from. So that's a couple of the things that I know that he has confirmed through Twitter concerning balances. There is some other issues that he talked about, maybe adjusting some weapons like the V40 mini grenades, maybe talking about reducing splash damage. Me personally, I told him that I thought there was more of an issue with the distance that you can throw them things, because I mean, you can throw them things a mile. So anyway, you know, he put out some information on that on Twitter, and it was good to know that he is looking at that. But I tell you, I'm really hoping that they really concentrate on getting the netcode fixed on this game. It is horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay, there are so many issues that are dealing with netcode and network latency with this game. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I'm not going to beat a dead horse, because everybody in the community has basically talked about that 100 million times on every video you've ever watched. So that's pretty much it, guys. So I hope you have a great weekend. This is going to be it for the Battlefield 4 weekly update. If you like it, subscribe to my channel and give me the thumbs up. We'll talk to you later, and we'll see you on the battlefield.